In today's video, I wanted to discuss the factions in Starfield and how much they'll actually affect and influence the game's story as a whole. A lot of people are obviously speculating that Bethesda are going to do the full Fallout 4 route and have every faction have a main impact in the main story, if that makes sense. And while I can absolutely see that happen, I personally kind of hope it doesn't. Now don't get me wrong, it's pretty obvious that a few factions will be playing a major part in the story, such as Constellation, the Freestar Collective and the United Colonies, but other factions such as the Crimson Fleet and the Cryptic Mercenaries, I honestly hope that they aren't. Now the reason why I prefer this is because I prefer Skyrim's factions over Fallout 4's, just to use two examples. What I mean is, I like the factions that have their own unique quests. In Fallout 4, every faction basically wanted the same thing, and you basically did the same stuff, just in different ways. In Skyrim, you have these entire storylines dedicated to each and every faction. It's not like the Thieves Guild and the Dark Brotherhood were helping you defeat Aldrin, is my point. But when it comes to actual news about this, we don't really know much besides what Bethesda have said, and when it comes to leaks about this, again, there really isn't much, which is unfortunate, but we do know some things, like Constellation will obviously play a major role in the story of Starfield. We know that for sure, it's been confirmed time and time again, and shown in the showcase footage, but as I said, when it comes to the other factions, we really just don't know. Now, I do think that the United Colonies and the Freestar Collective will both play a major role in the main quest, but as with the other factions, we know nothing. There are three other factions that Bethesda have teased or shown. They are the Cryptic Mercenaries, the House of Varun, and of course the Crimson Fleet. We know for sure that we can join the Crimson Fleet, we just don't know if they will be tied into the main story. Now it is entirely possible that Bethesda is going the Fallout 4 way, where we will have to choose between Constellation, the Crimson Fleet, the Freestar Collective or the United Colonies. I'd really like to see a massive war quest line between the Freestar Collective and the United Colonies, which I think is why I personally hope that they don't go this way. Just because I don't see quests like this being possible if they're already all tied into the main story. I also think it really limits role-playing, which obviously is a main point, if not the main point, in Bethesda games. Again, in Skyrim you can create entire characters based around certain factions. For example, my most recent Skyrim playthrough was a thief Argonian raised in Riften, who became a struggling beggar, living in the Ratways until Brynloth approached him with an opportunity to get rich, right? You can do things like this without thinking about the main story. In Fallout 4 you can still kind of do this, like maybe a character that's secretly a synth working for the Institute and so on, but the issue is with every faction main story and basically doing the same quest, you're just replaying the main story over and over, which can get boring after your 15th playthrough. And sure, you don't need factions to create a new playthrough, but for me personally, whenever I create a new character, I pick which questlines they're going to follow, like my Argonian who did nothing besides the Thieves Guild questline. I also just really hope that we don't become the chosen one for each of these factions too. Like in Skyrim, every quest does this. Like you join the Dark Brotherhood and just a few minutes later, like 2 quests later, you're the Listener. In the main story, you're the Dragonborn. In the Thieves Guild quest, you can literally butcher every single quest, completely fuck up what you're supposed to do on every single quest, and Brynloth just keeps telling Mercer, trust me, there's something special about this one. Like, it's really ridiculous when you think about it, and I honestly hope the Starfield doesn't do this. But anyway, back to the main story stuff, I really just want to see separate stories with these factions and actual consequences if you butcher a quest, right? I want to just be a member of the Crimson Fleet. I don't want to do 2 quests for them and then become their boss or the chosen smuggler, you know? I just really think the factions work better this way. I'm not sure if that's a hot take, but whatever, it's just what I think. Now we do know that the Crimson Fleet have apparently been causing problems for the United Colonies, so maybe they'll have their quest kind of joined together so Bethesda can tell some kind of galactic war story or something. Now I wouldn't mind that, right? Part of the fun of Bethesda games is the choice, choosing who to side with and all of that. I just hope that every faction isn't tied into the same story, otherwise we just have the same issue we had with Fallout 4 where every faction just ends up doing the exact same thing with a few minor changes other than the story. And obviously don't get me wrong, I absolutely love Fallout 4, you guys know that. I just want something different when it comes to Starfield. Anyway guys, that is going to do it for today. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. I'm really excited to hear your theories on this topic. You guys always have some great ideas. And as always, if you did enjoy the video, please do hit like. It only takes a second and it really helps out smaller channels like myself. And if you want to stay up to date on Starfield leaks, news, discussions, and plenty of other content, be sure to subscribe because we cover it all here. Also, we're really hoping to hit 800 subscribers here soon, so your support would truly mean the world. With that said, thank you all for watching, and I really hope to see you in the next one.